Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck this place!
Your mic arm seems very fluid.
My what?
Your mic arm seems very fluid in a good way.
It's a cheap one. I got. You know what? Thank you. That's what I'm learning to start doing. I was about to explain, but really, thanks a lot. That means a lot. You know, when somebody likes your shoes and you're like, oh, I got these at Payless for $2. They're like, just say thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
I've also worked at and failed at being nicer when people compliment me.
Yeah, well, luckily I won't be doing any of that today. So.
Absolutely.
I've also been in that realm, someone, I've had like a comic be like, oh, I really like that new joke. And I'll just be like, shut up. Like I won't even just completely bat it down with like a kind of low key insult.
I hate that if they saw that the joke didn't work completely and you're like, were you in there? Do you see?
We don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to do
Stop
this.
it. Look, I can't help you in the business. All right. You don't have to butter me up.
You could also we can just be nice to each other because we're people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to talk about any. It just maybe we think about something about this wall is interesting. We just talk about that.
Or how about, hey, I'm glad you're alive and that we're all here.
Yeah. And we're all here.
I'm glad you didn't kill yourself after you bombed just now.
Yeah. Well, that's why
we've all been close.
Yeah, it takes less than that to set me off now.
It's true. It's too true. So anyway, we should intro the podcast. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, fantastic guest, stand-up comedian, musician extraordinaire. He's got his own podcast called Mostly Sorry, but he's with us today, Mr. Joel Jimenez. What is up, my guy?
Yeah, all right. This is all that you guys do video on this, huh?
This is going to be on YouTube, but don't worry.
No, I don't. I mean, whatever. No big deal. You know, I dressed up for you guys. I'm sort of looking. This angle where my iPad is not the greatest, but I'm going to have to deal with it. It's okay.
Yeah. I have to I have to compromise. In my case, I have a office chair that if you were to see me outside of the context of this window, you'd think that guy's sitting too short at that desk. Like, why is the table at his chest? You know, but
that's kind of a brag, man. Office chairs are not cheap.
Oh, dude, I found this on the street.
I knew I had a feeling you were going to say that. Yeah.
But that goes back to the complimenting. Yeah, thank you a little bit.
That's right.
I want to
say literally batted it down by saying you found it in the street.
I did.
Yeah.
I just want you to know I'm not a fancy guy, you know. I do.
We know, Chase. We know.
We should just jump straight into our first segment. Joel, the first segment we do on every podcast is actually a segment we call Fuck This Place ? Where we decide if we would work somewhere or not.
Love it.
So we've pulled up some Craigslist posts from the Los Angeles region. You are born and raised. Did I say born and braised? Born and raised. Los
Somebody's
Angeles.
Hungry.
Ooh, baby. I actually did forget to eat my fruit snack, which I'm going to eat at some point on this podcast. Yes, you were born and raised in Los Angeles. So we have looked up some Los Angeles Craigslist posts. We're going to pretend like we're browsing Craigslist. I'm going to read the title to 3. You're going to pick the one that's like no go. And then we'll look at the other 2 and decide if we would work there or not. Sound cool? Great. Okay, so title number 1, no other context. Title is Bodyguard Needed. Title number 2, Guy Drivers. Title number 3, and this is all in all caps. I feel like this is important that you know that. Band needs help taking unique music video and making it go viral. So which one do you not want to click on? The Bodyguard, the Guy Driver, or all caps band needs help?
See, this is a double question because I absolutely don't want to click on the band one, but it seems like I could probably fuck them out of some money and it wouldn't be too.
Sure.
But they might be really hard to work with.
Yeah, this is the struggle.
Bodyguard needed probably because I'm a small guy. I'm not gonna I'm not trying to.
You.
Yeah, I'm not unless they get a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't say armed guard. I think So that's
what was the second one? Driver.
Guy Drivers is all it says. Guy Drivers.
Yeah, that feels like some sort of sex thing is happening.
Could be.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bodyguard one.
Yeah. Not happening.
Dump it. Yeah.
Not
it's a short list of people in LA I want to protect. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also true. Yeah.
And I think you're right. You know, like you're gonna show up and that person's gonna be like, "What? Why are you replying to this?"
Mhm.
So fine, let's take a look at post number 1, which is guy drivers. Pretty short, and there's no pictures. It's just some text, and I will read the text, and it says, "Hey," period, not "hey," comma. The hey is over, and we're starting a new
Yeah, I
sentence.
feel like it's a breathy hey on this guy. Sort of, hey, you know?
Yeah, it came from somewhere you didn't expect. That's for sure. It says, "Looking for a fella." I do like the switch from guy to fella.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Here we go. Looking for a fella that really drives a manual car at the moment. That really drives. Okay, I read that right. Looking for a fella that really drives a manual car
You
at the
better
moment.
really drive it. Dude.
Not just sort of drive it.
Yeah. Fucking phonies can't get out of second gear.
Yeah.
Really?
And then they say, would really like to see a guy drive barefoot right now. Okay. Can you help me out? Question mark.
He said that like it was like he hadn't been to In-N-Out Burger in a while. Like could really go for this, you know. Could really go for some bare man feet right now.
Yeah. I'll do whatever it takes, and I'm for real. Whatever it takes. And I'm for real. Shoot me a text ASAP. And then compensation says, give me a number and we can talk. And that is the post. Getting sexy, I think.
Oh man, I mean, okay, so a couple things. If you're driving the car, I guess once he's in there, it's sketchy because you're now trapped inside of a vehicle. Unless you got like the death-proof car, then it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you are supposedly in control. My hope is this person doesn't know how to drive a manual, so they can't fuck with your stuff, you know?
Yeah, but if that's the worst, then they can just fuck with the stick, grab onto the stick shift, or like cover your eyes or whatever. I am disgusted by men's feet. I can't do. I'm disgusted by most human feet, I think, but I think I think it's maybe more but you know, it's a thing. Girls, I think, maybe take care of that a little more
just
than guys.
Any amount, actually, I think
yeah,
a lot of dudes have literally never touched their feet in a washing environment.
Exactly. They think that it just like the water falls down.
There's a rinsing effect. Yeah.
And I know that's a broad statement, you know, but yeah, so I'm like, but I also get fetish. Like I don't want to like yuck his yums.
Of course.
But
I'm more concerned about the traffic situation we're going to end up in. But go ahead, Nick.
I think it's weird. Like to your point, Joel, I think that like women do make it a point to kind of take care of their feet, whereas I feel like most men still have hunter-gatherer feet. You know, like they still have like that.
I think actually most men think they're going to say they have hunter-gatherer feet. What they have is
the feet of the thing they are hunting.
I was going to say, I was going to say office job flip-flops.
Fucking youth pastor.
Just like real fucking dry on the left, on the outside. You know, it really goes halfway up the foot. So, yeah,
but also, it seems like an easy night out if the guy's nice. You know, give me that money.
The scenario here could be just as easy peasy as you drive a car. I'm actually kind of concerned this person doesn't want a nice car. You know what I mean? Like, what if I have a Toyota Corolla from the late '90s?
Well, they're not making a bunch of 2021s stick shift anymore. I'm sure they still do, but it's not like it was back then. You're probably gonna have an older car.
Or a nicer car. I feel like some nicer cars are stick shift because people like that experience, right? You know what I mean? Like if you had a newer Ferrari or whatever.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, again, I've never been in one, but that's just what I'm pretty sure is a thing. Although here's why I remember that. I used to work for.
You're like, here's why I remember that. I was getting my chair off the street.
I had just finished driving barefoot for a guy.
And a man said, "Here's this chair. Good job, son." I worked for this company where this guy, he owned a Maserati. He leased, big difference, a Maserati. And he would let you drive it to go do like random errands, and he thought it was such a big fucking deal. But I remember other people there being like, it's a total waste of fucking time. It's an automatic. It's not a stick shift. I don't know how to drive a stick shift, and I also don't give a shit about Maserati. So it was an experience that was completely wasted on me.
I can't think of a bigger waste of money than leasing a Maserati.
Like
other than just setting that pile of cash on fire, it's like Oh, get out. If you have to lease it, you can't afford this shit. Just get a Ford Fiesta or something.
Yeah, get a Ford Focus and be happy. Get a hatchback and put whatever you want back there.
Just go to therapy. Stop.
Exactly. Yeah, really. I know, dude.
So yeah, for this scenario, I think in a simplistic view, you got to drive whatever manual car you own. I'm assuming this is, they're not providing the car for you. And then I'm saying like best case as far as easy cash scenario goes, this person's going to jerk it while you're driving in bare feet.
See, that's where, yeah.
I'm saying that's kind of like the lowest ask.
I would ask for more money because if you get some, makes my card messy.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. If everything goes great, it's still kind of like, well, where are the bumpers here? What's going to happen? I think that they're going to want to do stuff with you.
I'll say, but it might be a thing where he just like does something weird where he just records your feet.
Yeah.
While you know what I mean.
That's like, extra for sure.
Like
in that case, I'll record it. I'll send you the video. Let's cut out the middleman. I don't need you in my car.
Yeah. I don't need to make an appointment with you. Yeah.
I think that like I'm out just because like you think if you're driving a stick shift, you're already kind of like having to multitask. I don't want to also then be looking over side eyeing this guy who's sitting next to me to add another thing, another very, very strange variable.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say fuck this place. All like on account in some ways completely separate from the foot jack off possibility. I just don't really want to drive anybody else around. I don't like driving. I do it all the time, but I don't like driving in LA in particular. So like what? I'm going to hang out with a stranger, while you get your jollies? Yeah. No, I don't think so. Even if it's for money, it doesn't feel like it's a good exchange.
Am I supposed to say if I'm in or out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can give us a middle of the road.
No. I think just based on fear and my distrust of humans, I think I'm out because I think that this could end bad. He could murder me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The level
we haven't
of
covered that.
in I'll do whatever it takes and I'm for real. Shoot me a text ASAP. Like for feet. Like that definitely implies the desperation of a very, very horny man.
Because there's better ways to get this.
Yeah. And again, I'm with you, Joel. Like I'm not trying to shame him if that's his thing or whatever, but he's obviously let his kink horniness drive him to this point, which feels
go Google some shit, man. Like
I think there's networks. I think that if I could speak to this person, I would just say I think there's better places you could be looking for this, and I think people will be excited.
Yeah,
to deliver.
Sure. So I'll say
we'll say fuck this place.
Yeah, I'm gonna say fuck this place.
Okay, post number 2, all caps. Title is band needs help taking unique music video and making it go viral. And then it's in Hollywood.
Oh yes.
Okay, so here we go. Hey friends! Exclamation point. Too many heys in this episode so far. My name is Jack, and I make music under the name Infected with Fire, which is honestly kind of a tight name. But if you were like super cool,
or if you're like fucking 10 years old and you're like you just found out about metal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I would like to see a tattoo that says Infected with Fire. I would not like to get one. We have recently completed a unique music video for my song Streets. YouTube link below at end of post.
Oh my God.
The video has some very powerful themes and some compelling imagery, which coupled with the song could make it a candidate to go viral.
Oh, like it could be nominated.
Wait, what year is this from?
That's a great question. It's 12 days ago is the year. Okay. And then, this may provide some context for you, Joel. It says, I joined social media 4 months ago to start sharing my music, which honestly, you're late to the party, but good on you. Welcome to the shit show. So far, I have 18K Instagram followers. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know what that means, but that's pretty good. And my YouTube videos usually get between 20 and 40K views. Also pretty good.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some secret sauce here. We'll find out. The streets video currently has 102K. I mean, this person could be lying, but let's just take it at face value.
Real quick, and I'm so sorry to keep interrupting, but I think this right now reeks of those people that are like that use the word networking a lot. We all know those comics who are like not that funny, but they're really famous because they have business cards. They'll throw themselves at everything. So like, to me, all these hits and stuff don't scream talent. They just scream annoying fucking person.
And you can also pay for these views, you know, like
True that.
I don't really know much about it, but I know that, you know, people have paid for followers before. And
here we
it's
go.
not
Keep
difficult.
reading. I'm sorry to.
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry. The Streets video currently has 100. Yeah, we shouldn't speculate. We should just find out this person's story and then shit all over them. The Streets video currently has 102K views, which is a great start. I'd say if that's for real, that's actually just great. Anyway, however, the goal here is to get this video to 1 million views quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. With that being said, we've already said that. So let's move on. I already have a viral, sorry, I just hate the phrase. I already have a viral strategy, which includes paying Instagram influencers, ding-a-ding, ding-dong, 100K to 500K followers to post about the video to their followers and recommend they watch. So yeah, you can game this. What I need help with is more ideas to share and viralize.
Yeah, baby.
And then there's in parentheses, do you know anyone influential to send the video to? I'm on Craigslist, bro. No.
Dude.
Do you do you have a lot of followers on social media to post to? That could be possible. Do you have a connection to any media people? Etc. Which I have a lot to say about this paragraph, but we're gonna blaze through because there's only a couple more paragraphs. Watch the video, hit it loud with headphones. Hit it loud. If you feel compelled by it, contact me. I will compensate you depending on your ideas and what they can potentially deliver. So basically, I'm not going to pay you. Below are the links. And if we want, we can check them out. But I don't know. Below are the links to the Streets video and my IG profile if you're interested in seeing more beyond the Streets video. I have a number of other videos. Yeah, I know how. Sorry. I have a number of videos on my YouTube profile, and my albums are all on streaming platforms. Yeah, I know. I know how to look at things. Looking forward to hearing from you, and thanks. And then Best Jack from Infected with Fire. And there's links to everything he said and conversation.
I would honestly really love to see this music video. I don't know. Okay, well,
we can take a look before we get there.
Maybe we close with that, not to control your show.
You know how like at the end of like Fresh Air, after they interview Bruce Springsteen, they just have like a clip of a Bruce Springsteen song. But they get the rights to that.
Dude, like it just sounds to me like, okay, what the fuck do you need me for?
What are we doing?
What is this? It doesn't sound like what I have 600 followers and I'm going to help you out with your supposed thousands of followers and views already.
I want to talk a little bit about this middle paragraph here where they're talking about this, like viralizing do you have any connection to media people, etc. I think that a lot of people who don't know anything about the internet, and I'm going to count this person as maybe that person because they've been on social media for 4 months. A lot of people want to speak to the manager, you know. There's a lot of people who are just like,
get me Hollywood on the phone.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Like they just want to be like, well, this is good. And it's also totally possible, you know, that this person is making good shit, you know, or good enough.
Are you saying this guy was probably singing on the subway a couple years ago, hoping some sort of producer was also riding the subway?
Could have been. Yeah. Could have been.
Who's that dog in the window?
Oh my God, you have a beautiful voice. Follow me to Capitol Records.
Bring that violin. Follow me to Capitol Records. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of people, and I think actually this disease has percolated beyond the entertainment, you know.
You mean infection?
What's up?
Yeah.
I think you mean infection.
The fire infection has spread.
Yeah, people have been infected with the fire of wanting to speak to the manager for a long, you know, like because I you know, a couple jobs ago, I remember I was in a marketing position, and literally I was like on a call with like, I think it was, you know, like pretty high up people, and they literally just said like, well, what if we made a viral video? And I was like, yeah, that's a strategy. Yeah, you go ahead. How many videos go viral a day? I would say best case scenario, one, right? One. It's one. You know, and most of them, the people don't want to be viral, you know. It's somebody who got their face, you know, beat in or something, you know. Anyway, I think that this person is emblematic of a much larger disease. And they've been infecting people with it for sure.
I think you're absolutely right. There is this thing of like, there are people that think that if I've seen people ask like headlining comics like, hey man, can I open for you? Like they just think they're gonna skip this whole fucking 10 years of work.
Right.
Like if I open for Bert Kreischer or Joe Rogan or whatever, like
it's all
I've
over.
got it. That's it. I got it made. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like it's it's people that don't want to, they want like an easy way. And really there is no fucking easy way unless you're like a fucking hound like this who doesn't have any filter, who doesn't give a shit. Like, hey, you got 1 million followers. I'll give you $50 if you share my thing and then I'm going to be famous. Like,
you know what? Let's take a quick look at this music video. Not
Thank
necessarily for the music, although I think I have to restart my share for the sound to work.
Who gives a shit?
I want to say major props though. It didn't make me watch an ad at the beginning, so you know, I didn't. Let me.
Can we guess what that thing's gonna be?
Dude.
Yeah, we can guess with this. So yeah, for those who are listening, we have just started the YouTube video, and there is a very small, almost coffin-shaped red
it's like sarcophagus,
in the middle of the thing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm trying to get.
It's just the intro to the movie It.
So
let's remember he said it's unique.
This is unique. We're gonna listen for just a second here.
I fucking hate it already.
We got music. We have the coffin's getting bigger. If you're not watching on YouTube. Oh, there's a man in a. We're just gonna pause for a quick second here. We have a man
in a military
outfit. Very clearly bought it like a costume shop.
I'm not sure which military he's in because I don't think that uniform goes with those hats.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree.
The Salvation Army, dude.
Yeah,
I completely agree. And we're just gonna let the song play for just a second here. Okay, we're gonna pause. This is just music. This is just regular music.
Fast forward. Yeah, let's or whatever. I just want to see.
We've got a person. Okay, we're fast forwarding.
My God.
It's a story. We're telling stories here.
Also, is he?
Okay, so it's a person singing. I would call this sort of an indie folk situation.
Absolutely. How many views did he say it had?
That's what we're gonna do. So we're now moving back to.
I think
so we're just gonna
lying. It's like 102.
So so this person's not lying. It's 103,000 views. But let's take a quick look at
that video. Sucks, dude, and it was not unique. It was music.
It was regular,
sucks.
is what it was. You know,
dude. It was less than. It was below average.
Oh yeah, I guess Joel is the musician on this.
Yeah.
He's got a better chance of actually getting a virus than going viral. I guess we all do at this time.
That is true. We're all we're all creating content inside a giant trash can at this point. The first comment, which is pinned, it says it's by like this. It says Papology Network. It says it was a pleasure creating for Infected with Fire. The track is an infectious and conscious testament to liberty and life, which makes you think that eventually this song starts getting into vaccine theories.
Does one of them say, "I saw this video"?
I actually think.
What if someone just said, "I just watched this video"?
I just watched this. Yeah.
We're gonna search. It's probably gonna be too many words.
Oh my God! I mean, I've seen better videos made by children. You know, I think I feel bad for saying that it was awful, but first of all, because I get it, everybody's entitled to their own artistic
everyone's allowed to be bad,
but this guy sounds like he thinks he's good.
Yeah,
everyone's not allowed to yell at me in all caps.
Yeah,
about how good you are if you're not good.
I was gonna say, and this is the last thing I'll say, and then you guys can have your show back. There is also this thing of people who are not. It's the same as these network people. They are maybe don't have the skills enough for the level of confidence that they have.
Sure.
Where it's like, I'm just always insecure and I'm like, this sucks. And then I'm always trying to do better. But there are people who are like, this is the shit, you know, and it's bad. And so I think I'll maybe be a little more introspective and humble, and maybe you'll make better stuff.
You know, all the time
my shit sucks.
I try to employ that mentality, Joel. Like I have more than once said to myself, well, look at these other people who suck ass and are just shoving everything through like the fucking cheese grater of life. It doesn't work for any more than one decision.
Yeah.
Like I can do one thing based off of that pep talk, and then I'm like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah, I know. Imagine what it takes to have that be the battery that carries you through your creative life.
It takes a certain level of, I don't know, some
delusion.
kind of destruction. There's a destructive tendency there. Yeah, I'm obviously I'm gonna say fuck this place, because we've run into other situations on this podcast where somebody's looking for help with YouTube, and it's actually clearer what they want from you.
Yeah,
it feels like this person wants you to call them up and be like, "That's a great idea."
Yeah.
You know, Like you're just this
Hi,
person's
I'm
hype person.
I'm Kylie Jenner. I want to share your video.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Correct. And
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
other thing. It's the other thing that I feel like we haven't actually landed on officially yet. That you were talking about, Joel, is like, okay, fine. So you get Kylie Jenner to share your video. You get, fucking Joe Rogan or somebody, some huge person in whatever it is that thing that you want. You get the fucking president. I don't know if you're to like do something for you, but like, if you haven't built up like a bunch of muscles in the things you would be doing anyway, then like you might like kind of blow it after that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you see, we've all seen like a famous person try to do stand up, and the audience is excited maybe for the first like 3 minutes, and then it's like, okay, are you funny? And most of the
Right.
time they don't really have it. They can coast on their like star power, but like
For sure.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even if dear Jack, even if you get the thing you
Suck
so
our dick, dude.
even if you get the thing you so desperately desire, like, I don't know, man, like maybe you should just be all right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm out. I just feel like it's gonna be a guy that is so delusional that he's like creepy. That it's just like,
sure.
like this definitely sounds like someone that like you have a conversation with him, and then like a day later, it's like you never had that conversation.
Yeah,
You
he
know what
doesn't
I mean?
see anything. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you're like, I'm here. We're talking.
I hear a lot of him yelling, well, you don't get it.
Yeah,
You don't understand. You don't have the answer, Sway.
Yeah. Or he's just like, you're just like, hey, where's Mike? Mike's fired. Like, fired Mike was here 6 hours ago. Just like
Mike's dead to me.
Yeah.
He didn't see my
because
vision.
he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna say fuck this place. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
You want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470-BAD-JOBS.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
All right, Joel, what is the first job you ever had?
Like first, I guess Target. I worked at Target when I was 18. That was the first job I got when I was 18. Yeah.
What was your position at that Target?
I worked in the stock room.
Oh, yeah, classic.
So just, making batches so you can refill the floor. I think we did them at like 1, at 3, and at 5 or something, and just alone in dusty aisles. You're supposed to use a ladder, but you're under the gun to like hurry up and be productive, so you end up just climbing the shelves like a monkey.
Yeah. Target gremlin.
So my shoes smelled like popcorn after a day.
What a perfect detail. Did you get that popcorn for free? I would guess not.
There was no popcorn to be found anywhere near my shoes.
So the rushes are you've got those 3 times where like everything goes out, but you're saying you're rushing around in the back to get prepped for those times, or like people are like just fucking busting open the door, or they're calling on the radio like, I need fucking 6 blankets stat. I
mean, both. You have like a certain amount of time to fill these pallets and like get them out to the floor so you can restock.
Right.
But also while you're doing that, people are like hitting you up like, we need this fucking item. So you have to stop doing what you're doing and go, do all that.
That's perfect. It's really perfect efficiency.
Yeah.
So you got that job when you were 18. Did you just want a job, or was it like your parents like pressure or what?
I don't remember. I think I just wanted to like, I thought it was like time to go get a job, I don't know. I dropped out of high school when I was like the end of being 17, so there was really no other choices. Like I didn't go to college or anything like that, so I was like, might as well start working, so I just started like doing that. How long did you work there for? Man, I want to say a couple years. I fucking yeah, I want to say like at least a year, if not two. I don't fucking remember.
So a
I
long
blocked
time.
it out at this. Yeah, I'm 34, so it's been a while.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I know I look great.
Yeah, you look swell. What was the like when like this is your first job? So like, what do you like? You roll in. I would guess they were probably pretty big. Like you walk in, and I'm just imagining like there's like a fucking back room that's just like on fire, and some dude's like, yeah. So we just pull these boxes out. You just gotta dust the soot off them, and then you just bring them into the room, and like make sure there's no gasoline. Otherwise, we're all gonna be on fire out there.
Yeah, it's kind of you show up, you clock in and go. You know, I was like powered by like fucking caffeine pills and Monster and fucking all of that. Just caffeine really helped me get through it a lot. I took a lot of bathroom breaks just to hide.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely, you gotta.
But then also towards the end when I stopped carrying, I remember taking like my bong to work in my backpack and just doing bong loads on my lunch break.
Okay,
I
so you really went the opposite direction of the caffeine push.
Yeah, I mean, when I stopped carrying, I was like, why am I trying to be productive for this company that doesn't give a fuck about me? I might as well just make it interesting.
Yeah. I always feel like when like those kind of job interviews too, like the guy interviewing is always doing his best to like hide the fact that they are on fire behind you, just kind of like, we're a pretty chill environment. We like to keep things moving though. We stay busy or whatever. Then he's like, yeah, sure. You're a great guy, Joel. We hired. And you go back there and it's literally people screaming and be like, new guy, get the fuck in here now.
I fucking nailed the interview. That was like, because I applied for Jamba Juice, like when I just turned 18 and if I ever did like a short film, it would be like everything leading up to the interview. Like I was like, I dressed nice. I showered. I'm like, here we go. And he goes, why do you want to work at, it was Robex. He goes, why do you want to work here? It's like a Jamba Juice.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, why do you want to work at Robex? I was like, oh, I just turned 18. I thought, I should be responsible. He was like, all right, bye. See you later. Next,
He fucking failed you in the first question.
And I remember like he was like, okay, cool, well, whatever. And I remember like going home, like they don't even know like how long I prepped for this, like mentally. So then when I went to Target, I was like, what they want to hear is like that you want to work for that company, like, right? So I was like, I've been coming to Target since I was a kid. I showed up to the interview in a red shirt.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I love it. I have so many good memories of going to Target with my parents and like, and then they hired me and then it was fucking, whatever. And when I quit, I did my 2 weeks, but didn't stay the 2 weeks. And then later on I became broke again, tried to apply. And the guy said, the computer said, I'm not hireable anymore because I didn't stay in my 2 weeks.
Wow. This is the first instance on this podcast where someone has not given their 2 weeks, because that happens a lot. And it's actually come back to bite them in any meaningful way.
Yeah,
I think it's
Target
funny too,
doesn't care.
I think it's funny too that you were not hireable. Like you were just like, dude, I was taking caffeine pills. I was doing bong rips. It was just like, but I was kind of mean on my way out. And that's why they said I can't come back.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they ever suspected. I mean, who knows, whatever. They don't care. There were times like, we would like, if we were behind on batches, we would like fake clock out for lunch and work through our lunch and then get to take a lunch later. It's like, but I would be such a dick. Like, they'd be like, come on, like on your real lunch after you fake clocked out, they'd be like, hurry up, man, it's 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, cool. You do one of those things like maybe management wants to know if my lunch is over right now or why I'm That's such an idiot.
Yeah. No, I mean like, but also like, fuck them. They made you compromise on like the one thing that a part-time job is supposed to give you, which is like random 10-minute breaks and lunch. If you work X amount of hours, like it's.
I think I was working full time at that time. I don't know if it was part time actually.
Yeah.
It was like
Jesus Christ. Well, even if it's an hourly position, like it's the smallest thing that they're supposed to give you, and they can't even give it. Like you could just literally hire more people, and there would be plenty of coverage, right? So people could go take their fucking lunch.
Yeah.
Well, like Target's hurting, because like small business.
There's mom and pop at Target.
Yeah. Well, the thing that sucks, and maybe you can speak to this, but I feel like the thing that sucks is you can work for those big corporate things, but the thing is the managers make it's about me, man. It's about the team, dude. You know? And it's like there's like way bigger structures to take care of us than fucking you, my dude.
They drank
not my
the Kool-Aid,
security
man.
guard.
Yeah, for sure. Here's another thing you may not know. Target, from what I remember them saying, was they have some of the best like security, like the best security program like in America or something.
Okay.
Like a lot of those people go on to, I don't know. Apparently, they have like facial recognition stuff now,
Oh,
and like all
great.
this.
At
You know, they have
Target.
and they have like crazy. I mean, this is what I was hearing back then.
Yeah,
I could only imagine like what their like security is like now.
of
You know,
course. Yeah.
They
these
were. That
people
was
think
back
they're
when they were like
RoboCops.
they were like protecting. They're like, we got to protect these PlayStation 2 controllers like, at all
Exactly. Yeah.
costs.
Yeah. The Wii, the fucking red Mario Kart Wii goes on sale on Saturday.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're like, this is an iPod. This is the future. All right, we need to protect this.
We're protecting our assets
Oh man.
into 2041. Man, what a bunch of D-bags and poo-poo heads.
I mean, whatever. I wish they'd hire me now. You know, I might.
Yeah, sure. So like, so wait, so I just want to be clear. The interview that you aced, you just told him you really wanted to work there, and that was pretty much it. Like that was your like.
I wore a red shirt. Told him I loved the company. I looked forward to working there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a hard worker.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the I love the company like script, because it is universal, is that you are gonna tell them that things you love about the company that have absolutely nothing to do with your job.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like I love the ice cream here.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I love that you guys sell shit that Rite Aid also has. I remember too. It's just like back before like weed was like legal. Like you know, people think California has always been super chill. It hasn't. It has, but you know, it was illegal at a time, and I was smoking a lot of weed at the time. And so at smoke shops used to sell that shit that would like help you pass a drug test. And so I couldn't smoke for like a week, and I had to drink a shitload of water, and then drink this shit like an hour before the test, and then. And I passed the drug test. It did work. So you know, if anybody out there is trying to pass a drug test, go
Google
go to
that.
a smoke shop and buy that weird Kool-Aid shit.
Yeah. No, that's a good pro tip. Yeah, man, it's just sorry. It's so funny that Target sells things that Rite Aid also sells.
Yeah. I want to before we move forward, I want to just do a little bit circle back around to that Robex interview. Though.
Yeah,
that
sure.
Is so funny to me that like, so you go in there and like they're immediately like, oh, you're just trying to be responsible. Out of here, nerd. Like,
Well, you know, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, and this is me thinking like, oh, because, all right, how do I say this? I think he probably didn't want to hire a guy like me. Like he was probably wanted like maybe an attractive young girl.
Yeah,
you know, these fucking sleazebag like managers. Maybe he wants
Yeah.
to show up and say hi to Amy and Emily every morning.
Yeah.
Be a fucking psycho guy. But I honestly was probably too immature really to even have that job. And it probably that's a lot to assume about the guy. Maybe he just could completely see that I was like not fucking ready, and you know, I was like humana. But you know, it's like it would be like the emotional equivalent would be like maybe you're getting ready to go like do your first headlining spot, or you're gonna shoot a special. Like the ritual of me getting ready that morning, like putting on the khakis, the button-up shirt, like today's the day, like I become a man. I'm gonna go get this job, and then walking in and just being like chopped down and being like like fuck, dude, it hurt. I can feel it when I think about it.
Yeah, you know, some of those like fantastically like huge drops in like a job interview, like I don't know how to ever shake them.
I haven't stepped foot in a Robex since.
Sure.
But it's just like I understand, like that's all fine that he's like, oh, this kid's not ready, whatever. But like, there's a little tact you can have rather than just being like. It sounds like I understand it was a long time ago, but it sounds like he goes like, and then he just shuts his briefcase and then just gets up and walks away, and then you feel the building start to catch on fire around.
They hit a trap door. They drop an anvil on me. Yeah, the Wile E. Coyotes there. It's fucking no. And you know what? Honestly, maybe it's one of those memories where it didn't exactly happen like that, but that's how it felt to me. So
no, that's how it happened, dude. He shut you down pretty hard. Yeah,
it was pretty. Yeah, obviously, right.
I mean, like I'm just saying, you wouldn't have that visceral response if he didn't have that visceral response.
I saw this, like, there was like this radio lab about how oh great, Jesus Christ, my whole thing's falling apart. There was a radio lab on how like memory is like not how we think it is. Like we humans think memory is like a Rolodex where you can access them, but really your memories are like a creative experience. Like every time you have them, they change a little bit, you get embellished, blah blah blah. So I wonder if through the years this has like
you've made it darker for sure. He forgot it completely. Yeah.
Well, he forgot it because he was just doing it. Like there's no way it was like Joel's the first fucking kid that he fucking kicked out like that. He's
no,
or it keeps him up at night. And he's like, I should have given him a chance. That was a good kid.
Yeah. He's on a separate podcast. Just like, I'm sorry.
Called Finding Joel.
Yeah, called Finding Joel.
If you're out there, man, I'm sorry, dude. You can.
That's a Craigslist ad right there.
Yeah,
we misconnections, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a manager I was a hardened manager in some dark days at a juice bar. You were just a kid looking for a way up, and I shut you down.
Fuck yeah, I love it.
You had a clip-on tie.
Let's make it. It's gonna go viral, dude. Let's viralize that.
Let's viralize that.
I was wearing a polo shirt. You were dressed slightly like Pee Wee Herman. I remember.
Dude,
that's how I felt.
Okay, all right, Joel. Okay, so that was your first job. What would you say?
Hold on, just once. I just want to say, like, that's the way you're supposed to show up to your first job interview. Overprepared, wearing a tie that you got at JCPenney. Anyway, I just want to say, Joel, you did everything right. You didn't deserve anything.
You did nothing wrong, Joel. Yeah, that guy was a fucking dickhead.
Okay, we can move on. We can move on.
Wow, I could let it go. Let it.
Yeah, just let it go.
I gotta hug young Joel.
Yeah, for those who are for those who are listening, a part of Joel's body just left his body, so we're good.
What part? All right, go back to you.
Yeah, good. It was his dick. Nick, what's your?
Okay, so that was your first job ever, Joel. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
Oh man, the hardest one. Okay, so real quick, after that, okay, I don't know where these questions are going. Probably the hardest one. I was a line cook for a little while, but that's just because it was really hard work.
Yeah, nature.
I was working with friends, the crew, everything, all that was fun. Like, was probably the best part of the day. You know, a friend got me the job. I had never done it before, but you know, that lunch rush hits, and you know, and there's knives around, and you're going to the walk-in freezer just to get like a breath, you know, like cold air. The end of the day, your fucking body hurts. I was like drinking a lot after work because you're just so stressed. Like you're stopping at the liquor store, you're doing a shot in a tall can every night. So now you're like half energy for the next day. So you're even, you know, it sucks. But overall, it was really, it wasn't the worst like that, but it was really hard. Yeah, but it was probably the hardest I've worked ever. And then but before, so I've only had about 4 jobs my whole life because I ran a skate park for almost 10 years, like in my neighborhood. Wow. So after Target, I applied for Trader Joe's. I went to 3 different interviews. They didn't end up hiring me.
That's a common Trader Joe's story. They're very they're weirdly picky.
Yeah. It's like and right after the Pentagon with like how.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And so then they opened a skate park in my neighborhood. I got that job because I was from here. I grew up skateboarding. I was like, I need to. When I went to that interview, I was like, nobody deserves this job more than me.
This is my job.
Yeah. And I got it. And then I was there like almost 10 years. Yeah, Jesus. 9 years.
So it was that was
hard. Well, that was hard too because the kids fucking hated me because I had to make them wear helmets. Like, so like, you know, that
you were a lifeguard basically.
Yeah, I had to get people to sign waivers. I had to ask some of my like favorite pros to sign like waivers because I needed the money so bad that I was afraid. I'm like, I like to think I'm rebellious, and I am in certain aspects, but I'm sort of like, I was like, well, if somebody cracks their head on my watch, like I'm fucked, you know, like that's it.
That's fair.
So I was,
that is like your job, you know, and it's like,
I was a little more extra where now, you know, I maybe the 10 years I was there, I had maybe 3 really serious injury and not even just breaks, you know, like an arm or a leg. But I was always just nervous about that. So I was like super hard about the rules. And so a lot of people didn't like that about me. We had an awful waiver filing system. Nothing was alphabetized. So I had I had like 4 stacks like that. So anytime someone would come, just licking going through all of them to find them.
To
Eventually, I
find their
memorized
name
a
if they had
bunch.
Oh, Jesus
Found
Christ.
a bunch, and a lot of times people were like, "Look, if you can't find it, I'll send another one." I was like, "No, no, no, I think I remember that." And then I
Fuck.
was just, it was mind maddening, and then yeah, but so that was hard in other ways, but yeah, to answer your question, long, it was anxiety inducing, but also it was a fucking skate park.
It was a
It's
skate
like,
park, yeah.
you know, the line cook job was really hard.
But it is hard. Oh, it is hard to be like, like fucking Tony Hawk or like.
I grew up skating, and I'm like, now I'm like a fucking nerd. I'm like a dad.
You're like the
you know?
narc. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm like, no, I'm cool, guys. I swear. And like years later, a couple of them came to the Comedy Store and like saw me, and they were like, they came up to me and they're like, oh shit, man. Like they were like fans of like the show, and they were like, so, and then they took a photo with me, and it felt like vindication. I was like, yeah, see, I'm fucking cool.
Yeah. Thank God.
I told you I was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I understand it wasn't maybe your most physically taxing job, but it does seem like the day-to-day stress was a little, like, it seems like you're probably walking on eggshells in your own land.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There were times I felt like a visitor at my own like park and in my own neighborhood. It was like it was weird, and the more popular the park got, the more like outsider like people would come, and there
did
was
that translate outside of the skate park as well? Because I mean, these people are also skating other places, right? Do you run into those kids or anything?
I would run into them like at the store and stuff, and I always felt like they didn't really want to like say hi to me, but I'd see them in the neighborhood or whatever. But then what was I gonna say? The bleed over. I also, working at that skate park, I was there 5 days a week. So when on my days off, I wanted to go nowhere near skateboarding. So I didn't really go to any other skate park for like 10 years because I just didn't. It made me hate skating for a really long time because I saw a lot of the more like, I was around it all, the gossip and the negative sides, and homophobic kids and angry, the fucking racist
just
shit
all the
and
bullshit.
yeah, like but also they're just dumb teenagers. So I would always be like, man, don't say that shit. Like, relax, like whatever. And then they just thought they're like, fuck you, Joel, you're not funny, or like whatever, like shit like that. And like,
man,
so
way to go for the worst insult.
They knew where to hurt me, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so but like you do skate. So then what was it like? Did your skate game diminish because like, or did you skate in your own park a lot, or what?
Yeah, I skated a lot. Then they made a rule maybe 4 or 5 years into the job where if you're working, you can't skate while you're on the clock. So it was a lot of just sitting under a tree in the corner. Like, I got a joke about it, but one day I got to work and they had written "fuck Joel" on all the ramps. Like, they drew a giant dick on one of them. Like
it's fucking dude, clever bastards.
Yeah, I know. And I had to clean it. I was like, they got me, dude. I fucking, they got me.
Fucking genius shitheads.
Dude. So that sucked,
So you had to clean Joel sucks off of every ramp.
Yeah, fuck Joel. Thanks for censoring it. That would have been, that's a more Bart Simpson sort of crime.
Oh no, it said fuck Joel. Sorry.
Yeah, these are kids from broken homes that and then all I could do after is just like pray that they would fall, and like they never fall because they're fucking so good. They'd go for a trick and I'd be like, please God, fuck. It's like the only time I've really like tried to pray. I'm not like religious. It's like that.
You were like kind of like trying to like be the guy that way deep, like do a double kick flip, like trying to like up quietly up the ante.
More air.
Make it better. Yeah, I think he's got it. Yeah. Fuck, man. But now I've run into some of those kids and they've grown up, and I think like they figured it out. I always just hope they'd grow up and realize like I was just working a job and I was trying to do my best, but because I was like an older brother there. I was like a therapist. I was a babysitter. I was a security guard, like all that. I had to be, if people got crazy, it was like, I guess I was fucking security there,
and
like,
kind of like a camp counselor, like teacher, because like again, if that happens, like that kid's probably gonna come back to the park. So you got to kind of resolve that shit like then, instead of just saying like you're out of here, like they're gonna come back tomorrow.
So that's what I was gonna ask. So you have a lot of regulars, and then you were saying also though that as time went on, the park expanded, like just by word of mouth got bigger, you'd get an influx of new people. So was there a lot of like fights? Was it very territorial? Because it sounds like these kids are pretty pissed off, generally speaking.
No, I to be honest, I almost never really had fights. I had a lot of bickering, a lot of like bullshit, like, man, whatever, dude, you suck, or like childish arguments where I was like that sort of shit, but never really like, I don't think anybody ever really throwing down. One time I got in front of this kid and I knew this, then this is like getting serious here. And sorry to maybe edit some music in here. That's sad.
Carry on.
There was a kid that I knew was like, had a legitimately rough life and like was like really going through a lot, really tough, like ready to like, just a firecracker, ready to fucking fight. And like one time, I don't know what happened, if I got in his way or something, he fell and he got up like pissed, like he was going to fight me. And I just like, look, I was like, hey man, what's up? Like, you all right? And then he was like, the water, like he started crying. He was like going through a lot. Like, you know,
that was the first,
like,
are you all right in a long time for him?
I guess so. Yeah. And I ended up like, you know, we ended up like talking and like hugging the kid. And he was like, he chilled out. So there were like these moments where I felt like I was maybe like the only positive influence in some of these kids' lives.
Sure.
So that was probably, that was the battery that kept me running through those 9 years. Was like at a certain point, I got more stoked watching a kid who was 6 learn how to ollie for the first time than a kid doing a kickflip from board or something like that. And even now, like the older I am, I like going out with people my age or older who like, they're just doing like a normal 50-50 and they're excited. I'm like, that inspires me to skate more than, dude, any skate video now, I'm almost every skate video out. I can watch them all and there's not one thing I can do in those videos. So I'm not inspired by it. I'm more inspired by my friends who are just learned how to ollie or are dropping in, or the most basic shit to me now is more inspiring than the crazy shit. But also last night I was up watching like gnarly kids fucking go off, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes you go to the top, you can, you know, but no, but I hear you on that. Because it's also kind of like, how do I relate? Like, it's great that you can do 2 backflips in a row, you know, but like, what do I
But that's also because I don't want to be a pro skater. So it's like with comedy, I don't want to, I'm not inspired. I guess I am inspired at like open mics, but I'm not like, I'm not afraid of watching the top people do comedy, because that's my that's where I want to get to. So I guess maybe if I was trying to be a top elite skater, I would want to know what was going on in that side of things to match that.
I think it's also kind of a combo. I kind of feel like, you know, I think this is, we're just gonna dive on comedy for just a second. That like, I think a lot of people, when they start doing comedy for themselves, right, they've watched a lot of the best stuff, right, and they start like sort of writing in the shape of the best stuff, you know, like where you watch someone's hour special and they've got a bit that's like
religion,
it's long. Like, exactly.
And like, God was like the first rapper, you know.
Like, God was the first rapper.
I think Steve Hernandez has a joke about that, like youth pastors who are like, you know, Jesus. I think it was Jesus was the first rapper.
To be like cooler kids, which that's a way better take than God was the first rapper.
Yeah, for sure.
But and a lot of people, I mean myself included, would have been much better suited to just looking in closer circles, right? To like see those people doing who knew how to, who were like just 2 or 3 levels ahead of you. Like, you're trying to learn an ollie. You want to see someone who can do an ollie into a kickflip, you know?
Or over something or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, that's where you're going to start to like really pick up. That's where you're going to see the pieces a little bit clearer for where you can fit in a little bit.
So, okay. So you didn't have any like real conflict, but I guess what I'm asking is like, did it change a lot over the years where like, did the influx of new kids come in and then they hate you just by proxy of the other kids who hate you? Or was it like, did you ever turn a corner where they were cool, where it was generally cool again?
Or did the kids get old enough and come to the park and they were cool then?
I think, you know, when I first started the job, I wanted everyone's approval. So I was a little more relaxed. I was like, and I was still young. I got the job at like 21. So I was like being a fucking idiot. I, you know, allegedly may have been, you know, smoking weed or like, you know, maybe
allegedly.
Some adult beverages were around at the time. And and then as I got older, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you need to be alert for if anything goes down or whatever. That's when I maybe I doubled down because I was such a fucking knucklehead to begin with. And now I was like almost more harsh, you know. It's like you know, it's whatever. It's like but
it's like the guidance counselor who has tattoos who gets down on the kids who get in trouble the most, because like, I used to be you.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Kind of. And I think what I think it was skateboarders, just skateboarding in general is always going to be around, at least in that era, is 12 to 17 is your main sort of number that you're working with.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
your main demo.
you got everybody up until like 10, and then the over 21 crowd. But there is this just tornado of kids sort of
Definitely.
finding it, being into it, and just by the nature of anxiety and hormones, those kids will always hate authority, I think. And so I don't think there was ever, maybe it did get worse as I got harder on the rules, but I think there was this constant of like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Feel like that. Like,
Can you tell me a little bit more about the dick that you had to clean it, and like the fuck Joel day? What was that? Like, what was that from top to sunrise, sunset on that?
Gotcha. So I got to work about 11 o'clock. It was a gloomy day. And I like opened up and, so when you walk in, you can't really see where it was, because one of them might have to walk forward and then it was on this other wall. So as I was like sort of walking to I would always put my lunch down on the back table. I was like looking around, I was like, oh fuck, like here we go, like it's and it was like
so how
everywhere.
many
It was
are we
in
talking?
blue. Let's see.
6,
2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 6. I got
That's
photos
too
of it
many.
on my Instagram somewhere. I was like, the caption was like, I really miss the creativity of like the kids I used to work with. So like one of the biggest one, like the fuck Joel, like fuck was like 6 feet tall, like because it was I was like, no, fuck was like 6 feet long, right? So FUCK, and then Joel was like 6 feet tall because it was a 6 foot ramp. So from the top of the ramp to the bottom, just big bubble letters too, like
Jesus Christ,
not just a tag, just like almost like a graffiti piece, you know. And
like Banksy did it.
Art. Yeah.
yeah, right. I wish there would have been like
Banksy's holding like a Molotov cocktail and he's throwing it at this thing.
It's like a helmet's on fire.
It was like the UN or whatever.
The red balloon flying away.
Exactly. Yeah. And the dick was like, I want to say probably like 6 feet long and just like fat, like, you know, I want to say like hairy balls too, like I believe that like the prickly, like maybe a couple like
it's more of a cactus, but we understand what you're going for.
Cactus balls,
cactus balls.
Tail is old time.
They got one on the back of like a sign, and then like, and I was just and then it starts fucking raining. And I had to eat my lunch under the tree in the corner of the park facing all the graffiti. So I'm just like in the rain, eating a sandwich, like so just like looking at all this graffiti. It was it sucked, dude.
Such a bad morning.
That sucks, dude.
And then you just, how did you clean it? Just like a solvent or something?
Like graffiti remover. So I was like, I got angry and I'm like, fuck this. You know what? Park's closed till it's fucking clean, you fucking loser.
I would have done the same fucking thing.
And so I had to close the park. I had to come in like that weekend. Maybe it was like a Friday. So the park was closed the Friday, and then Saturday I didn't even work Saturday. Had to come in and just clean it all myself. Like hot day, just on my knees, fucking cleaning all the fuck Joel.
That is a version of hell. Like there is.
That is awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
And then like I didn't know who did it. So like kids were like passing by to see if the park was open. And so I'm just like trying to see like, was it this kid, you know? And
let me see your palms, kid. Let me see your palms.
Dude,
see a little bit of blue paint.
Here, draw this dick.
I think I knew who. I'm like I bring in a handwriting analyst.
Yeah,
man, it sucked, dude.
Like, no, this hairs are too long. It's not him.
I need a pure cactus balls.
Yeah, exactly. But it was more just stressful because kids don't give a fuck. They thought, you know, they would always be like, I'm not gonna get hurt. Why do I need to like sign a waiver? And I'm like, you don't. Skating's so unpredictable. You could die just riding down the street. You know, I know it sounds crazy.
No, you can get hit by a car.
You can hit a rock or a car or go flying, hit your head, whatever.
Your head is not super well guarded.
Yeah, you know, it's not as protected as your balls. You know, if you had more prickly, that was not a great riff. All right,
no, it was good. It was good.
No, it was good.
Thank you. I got it at Payless. It was only $2. I don't know. You know, later on, like one of the kids got. This is another sad thing, but it also made me sort of realize, because there were times where I was like, man, I fucking not hate these kids, but I would get angry and be like, fuck, man, like fuck these kids, you know?
Yeah.
And this kid got like was at a party and got shot in the head and
Oh, shit.
and survived.
Whoa.
And so he's at the hospital, and I was like, we went to go see him, and he was out, he's in a coma, and now he's good and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I remember just like being alone with him and being like, hey man, like, I'm sorry for like us, I know we clash. I'm
Mhm.
this and that, but like, I don't ever mean it. Like, I don't like hate you. And I hope, you
Right.
pull through this. And like, I hope, but
Mhm.
I think because it was in my neighborhood, there were kids from my neighborhood. There were kids coming from like crazy walks of life, kind of, and almost like it almost was one of those things where it was hard for me to leave my work, like at my work, like, I'd
Right.
be at home,
Mhm.
sort of like thinking about their
Yeah.
home life and stuff.
Yeah, you kind of sound like a football coach in like a move, like in like
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I felt like
Yeah.
that a little bit.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too, because it's like
I'm just worried about them kids. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you at that point in your life, you were not the main character in your own life. It's like these kids all looked at you as like a fixture, as something that they probably remember to this day.
Oh,
like
for
it's just like,
sure. Yeah, I hope
yeah.
so. And
Mhm.
that's interesting, man. That kind of kind of moved me a little bit to like think of like that. Like, I wonder, the way I like look back at the teachers who maybe I thought were crazy, but then I'm like, oh, they like, I have a
Mhm.
teacher I was so mean to in high school, and he really, really tried with me, man. Like,
Mhm.
now I look back, I would love to find him and apologize, like, for
Mhm.
how I was to him, but like, he really tried. Like, I wouldn't do any work, and he was like, okay, he was an English teacher. He was like, write it on whatever the fuck you want, whatever you want, do it, just do something. And I was
Yeah.
still like, man, fuck you, like, whatever, and so I hope that when you said that right now, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I wonder if these kids sit around and like think about me. I went back to the park a couple months ago, and it's like dilapidated now. There's like graffiti everywhere, which is fine, like whatever, but not the cool kind. It's like, it seems a little Mad Maxy. The
You can tell people are
weeds
just
are
kind of
all
fucking around.
overgrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to like clean all that, keep it clean and stuff. And I went back a little while ago, and there was a graffiti there that said, I miss Joel and Christian. Christian was the other
Oh,
organizer.
man, that's
So
cool.
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy, right? Like, from fuck
That's
Joel to like
awesome.
we miss
Uh-huh.
Joel. And I was like, I wonder who did that. I wonder if it was the
Christian.
same fucking person.
Yeah.
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 Damn. Well, Joel, before we like close out, or as we close out,
Fuck that, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
we always ask 3 questions. Question number 1 for this job, is kind of like, well, when did you move on? Like, when were you done? How did you quit?
They were switching. I got laid off. They were switching to an unsupervised model because it was just cheap. It was cheaper.
Yeah.
Really, they figured out all they had to do was get the right signage, and then people, when they walk in, they're skating at their own risk. And that was it. And then
but now it's all covered in shit now, right?
now
Like
it's all locked up and kind of crazy, which whatever. But
so like, just to, and I know you were already just now reflecting on your legacy, but like, as a point of reference, like you and this other
Legacy is very
person.
funny.
Yeah, what up, dude? I'm just thinking about them kids. Tam, don't talk to me. I'm thinking about them kids. But like, you were literally part of what held it together for the time that it was.
I think so. Yeah. Now that does help a little bit, because the way I see it now, it's like, that's kind of what they always wanted, was like a no man's land where they could drink and smoke and skate all day. But in my hard assness and maybe nerdiness and caring about the rules too much, I did keep it from looking like a complete shithole, and kind of kept it wholesome,
and also making people feel welcome. I'm sure there were also like, again, like 7-year-olds that probably shouldn't be showing up and watching people, like Edward Scissorhands, like 2 fucking 40s or whatever. Edward 40 hands, sorry.
And I did want to make some of those kids who maybe get bullied and stuff feel like a little bit safer. I would like spend time with those kids, or like, I would always like change I don't know, if they said something crazy, I'd be like, you guys can't say that because it's like, because this is why, or or not just trying to police language, but like telling them why it's important, not to say it, or the word poser is thrown around a lot in the skate world. And I was like, they're not posers, they're beginners. Like, a poser is somebody who buys a board and just like hangs it on their wall with no intention of trying. These kids are trying, they're just not good yet. So
they're
like
at the skate park doing the work. So show the fuck up.
Let's not put their fire out. Anyway, so I forget what the question was. I'm a legend, dude.
So you got laid off. It was just over.
Well, and then when we did a meeting, and they were asking like a community meeting, and they were like, why should we have no supervisor? Should we blah, 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 this and that. And I remember a guy I grew up with, they were writing why they should, or why Joel is like something something, and he said because Joel is known and respected in the neighborhood, and I wish I fucking had a picture of that, because
Yeah, man.
I'm so like prideful of like my neighborhood, and like
Yeah.
Frogtown's so gentrified now that like I grew up here, and I have a lot of like pride in the community and being a part of that. And so that was something that I looked back at and I was like, oh cool, like people that are actually from here, they know me, and you know,
I contributed.
that feels good. Yeah, I think so.
Well, question number 2, which I feel like we're kind of dancing around already, is sort of what's one good thing you took from that bad or hard job? And I
mean that I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. The kids that like went on to do bigger and better things, the kids that like had good hearts, it was fun to see that. Watching kids progress, watching kids like that spark go off when they learn something new and being so excited was awesome. I don't know. I don't know. I think overall I love people, and so I think damn, what did I take positive from that? I guess like that here's what it is. So you can make a difference with people are fighting all these causes and this and it's all great, but I always that some of that stuff seems too big for me. Like I almost crumble because it seems like such a huge undertaking that I feel like a lot of change can still be made by like being nice to like somebody that's just sitting right next to you or like smiling or asking them how their day is going. So maybe just the effect that or change you can have on somebody's life by like asking how they're doing and listening and maybe like teaching them something new or being of service. And like, I guess that, you know, I guess whatever. And I don't think I'm some fucking saint, but like, I'm like, trying to get canonized.
Yeah. just through like steady exposure to, you know, your community, you can both contribute to your community and contribute to everyone's life just by
I even mean making the bank teller laugh, you know, whatever, little shit like that will, I think, the chain reaction of goodness.
Somebody else could have done that job very different than that. You know what I mean? They could have.
There were other people that had it that did do it very different, and I watched that and was like,
they could have just sat at the desk or whatever, or you know, and said fuck all to anybody. You know, just like check people in and said like fuck you every time they come in. You know, so like, you know, yes, that's that, like seeing the results of that choice and also knowing that you can keep making that choice. Question number 3 is not related to the skate park. You know, we're sort of on the other end of a pandemic. Like, how you been? Any like new worldviews or thoughts or changes? It's really just kind of a general check-in.
I think that this is cheese. You guys got me in the cheese right now, but
that's kind of what this podcast is about. We start in the sleeves, we move to the cheese.
Hell yeah! Wow, wow. Anyway, I'd like to get back in the sleeves with you. No, I think you know, one thing I think you know, leading with love, as live, laugh, love, as that sounds, it's like, you know, whatever, having leading with love. I think realizing how grateful I am to be doing stuff. Like today I had a pretty busy day, like pretty tight. And so today was the first time I kind of did an exercise where I was like, well, every time you feel stressed about your schedule, like be grateful that you're so lucky to even have a schedule like this. Like, and it does help a little bit. You still have those physical, you know, the heart palpitations and your body feeling under stress, you know, and your shoulders being like, I got to do this, I got to do that. But I was able to sort of like check in and be like, well, I'm really grateful. And I think that I'm just trying to be more grateful and be of service when I can, because and I'm also just getting older, dude. And it's like the older you get, the less time I feel like I have. And also I'm still a fucking asshole and an idiot sometimes. And I'm not like some Buddhist fuck, but I do think about that a lot, where I'm like, the things that help me feel better are helping other people, and and just being grateful for what I have instead of bitching about what I don't. And like not letting the stress of a packed day. I did a lot of I'm robbed of the moment a lot because I'm either thinking about the past or the future. And I think lately I've been trying to do a little bit more and more of like being present. Like right now I was completely like with you guys. I think, you know, I have other shit to do later. Maybe I thought about it a little bit, but for the most part, my brain was here right now. And that's kind of crazy. I haven't done that in a very long time. I just went to Santa Barbara for 4 days, and it was the longest I'd gone in years without looking at my phone.
Yeah.
And
Oh, nice.
I crave that shit like more and more the older I get. Like now being off that stuff is what I want more than before. But we're in a business where we all have to promote this
That
shit and
content.
all that. Trying to find a balance, man. I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. Yeah. I know I've actively literally been like, I've got to be more grateful.
Yeah.
And it's not worked so far.
But and the world, like to your point about like being nice to the bank teller or whatever, it's like the world's gonna have in it what you put in it, period. And it's 100% on you what that is, whether it's good or bad. Like it's just, and that's the beginning and end of that whole fucking story. The world will have in it what you put in it. So like, so choosing to be a dickhead means the world that wasn't there until you decided to be there and be a dick or being like cool dude, being a good person. It wasn't there until you said that. And now it's there. So it's like, it's just a simple choice that like, I think you're dialing in on
how many times you've thought somebody was like mad at you and really they were just thinking about something else, and
never about you.
It was all sort of how you were perceiving that. And a lot of our emotions lie to us a lot. And I don't know. Anyway, that's it. But so that's I don't know. It's this was sick. I enjoy this. I whatever. I say yes to almost every podcast, but like I don't. A lot of times it's really nice to sit, especially like people I haven't seen in a really long time, and to sit and actually talk and like enjoy the talk. Also feel like I talked over everybody, but anyway, that's it. Real quick, I don't know if you watched UFC, Chase, but I wanted to know, Nick, what did you think about? Did you watch the McGregor fight this weekend?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I almost never miss unless something comes up. But I thought it was kind of like I didn't think Dustin was winning. And I didn't think that he was because then you hear some people like he was mauling Conor. It's like I don't think he was mauling him. I think he was winning. Absolutely. I don't think Conor has ever had the gas tank to stop what would have been an inevitable mauling. I don't think he could have kept up that pace with Dustin into 2, 3, and 4. I think they would have separated. I think Dustin maybe would have finished him by the end of the second, on like with a clean finish. Certainly by the third. I thought that Conor just in his tactics, shooting first and going for a submission, just things that he was just openly acting like he would never do, is a little indicative of the subtle panic that was coming in, because Dustin is
the Nick Diaz thing, oh, you're a wrestler now.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like a thing where it's just like he, I think, to keep it really short, I think Conor spent too much time not being a mixed martial artist, and all these guys that he was better than, like he was better than Dustin at a time in their lives. But Dustin's just been doing it this whole time while Conor's been flying to space and doing the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just like the game has passed him by. I think at 32 years old to break your leg that bad. To like, it puts him at a path to where being really ready to fight again, we're pushing 35. Like with training and promotion and everything that it takes that comes with a Conor McGregor fight, you're looking at 35. And then at that point, is he fighting the best guys in the world? Probably not. He's probably still able to whoop the mid-tier guys for sure.
Yeah.
But I think his title days are done.
I was thinking about people that were like frustrated and this and that, or this wasn't fair, or this wasn't blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, we forget this is war, dude. Like anything could happen. People could die in there. Him breaking his leg, that's also a variable. Like I get that it's not entertaining and it's maybe anticlimactic, but it's all part of the game. It's there. So to me, I think it was just all that's what it is, man. It's fucking war. All's fair in fucking love and war, right?
Yeah.
But
and anyway. I think it's one of those things, and then we'll let you go off this, but like it's one of those things where it's like when people complain about that, yeah, sure. And if you paid your money, I get that you're pissed about that, but you can't talk about it like it's like a WWE pay-per-view and someone cheated and so you didn't get the winner you wanted, or like the end of a movie that sucked, that felt like a cop-out. That happened.
You paid for that possibility. You paid for that.
Yeah. It's just like that shit happens. And it's unfortunately happened a little more recently with like Chris Weidman, or just people who have these freak injuries.
Sean O'Malley, all those.
It's just like that stuff does happen. And it didn't happen because some guy jumped in the ring. It happened because Conor rolled back wrong on a punch he threw. It's just a freak accident that happens,
Wow. And on that, fucking isolate that clip, throw it on
dude,
YouTube.
we have like a mini MMA show. So before we close out, Joel, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm at Mostly Sorry on Instagram. That's probably the best place to follow him. I put everything on there, man.
Yep. And he's got a YouTube and stuff too. We'll put all the links to that in the show notes.
Hell yeah.
Joel, thank you so much for joining us. It was a
you're
pleasure.
a beast, bro. Thank you so much,
Dude,
man.
Thank you guys. It's great to see you. Thanks for having me. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon, brother.
Hell yeah. Peace.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Hey, I forgot to say fuck this place at the end of that one. Thanks for hanging out with the MMA crew. I don't really know what most sports are. If you don't know who Conor McGregor is, just think of him as like the Yosemite Sam of MMA. He seems like he's mad a lot. Right into the podcast, 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. Bye for now.